Hello, Juju-san.
Hello, Tomomi-san.
How are you today?
I'm really good. I'm really good. It's what time now? Like 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. in Madagascar. And what
Okay.
about you, Tomomi-san?
It's 3 p.m. in Japan.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you too. So today we would like to talk about the best practice of doing business in Japan. Okay.
Oh, that's nice. Yes.
And we are following this slide. If you want to know about the Juvencia, there will be a video, her introduction video. I will add this after this recording. So please check this out. Okay. Okay. So this is just a short intro. While it is commonly believed that the huge investments and resources are required to expand into Japan, this is not necessarily the case. So in some cases, projects were started on a small scale and later established as legal entities. Due to COVID-19, online meetings like now have become very common in Japan. So I hope everyone will enjoy this presentation.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. Before going to the main topics, let me introduce my company, Access Lab, a little bit. So we are a Tokyo-based company that supports the business development of foreign startup companies in Japan. We are run by bilingual IT engineers who have been engaged in system development in Japan and overseas for many years. So with countless years of experience as well as knowledge of technology, localization, and the Japanese market, we can provide a wide range of products and services to our customers. We have a proven track record of deploying online services in the Japanese market, in which was once completely unknown in Japan. So if you are interested in our services and products, please reach out to us. Okay, that was a very short advertisement. Okay, let's go to today's topics. There will be three main topics. First part is 5 keywords in Japanese business culture. Second part is about the translation. And lastly, we will go through the media and marketing landscape in Japan. Okay. So let's start the first part, 5 keywords in Japanese business culture. Well, actually, this part it's a little bit kind of game. So each slide has a picture representing some Japanese word. So I want you to guess what it is because we have gone through in the past. So I hope you still remember it, but it is not a test. So if you can, please
Yes.
please tell me. And if it's not, don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
So this one, what this means? Do you remember what?
I don't remember. I don't remember the right word.
Okay.
But I remember that it was related to the process of agriculture in Japan. And it was something like related to roots as well. So I have in my mind just the meaning of it, but I don't get the right words, I think.
Okay, sure. So you said that this is something related to the roots, right?
Yes,
okay.
Roots, yes.
Okay, so you're correct. So this is Nemawashi.
Nemawashi.
Yes, so ne is a root.
Yes.
So, okay. So the term Nemawashi refers to a series of informal activities to build consensus so that nothing comes as a surprise to anyone with the company when it's made official. So that's Nemawashi means. Sorry.
Yes.
So since Nemawashi is a series of informal activities, it's difficult to understand the exact process from external people. You can guess from the title of a role, but you need to identify to understand the whole process properly. So in Japan, every single step takes time, partially because of Nemawashi. Many companies left Japan as it takes too much time to see something concrete. So our recommendation to be successful in Japan is to start on a small scale and be patient, since not so many competitors can overcome language and cultural barriers like this. So JUJU-san, have you ever seen Nemawashi in Japan when you were here?
Yes, I've seen a lot of Nemawashi actually in Japan. When it happens to make some informal activities, such as dining, taking coffee, or meeting different people before really reaching the right person who take the decision. So it takes a lot of time actually to really find also the consensus, like to find what it will be. Sometimes when we start with one business and then we end up with another completely different business, because it has to be really, there are a lot of process to understand the right needs in Japan, which is a completely different culture, completely different type of market. So yeah, it takes a lot of times to get into the roots. And that's, I think, what is Nemawashi. And yeah, it's something that is not common in other culture. It's really different in Japan. As you said, I can really experience, for example, the fact that sometimes we came with a big, huge project, and we think that we can do the same thing as we do in Europe or in other country, in other continent like US. But when we come in Japan, it's completely different. We need to start from the small scale and then to really understand first the business there, and then to understand the culture, and also to overcome the language, and then to be able to start something small, and then after that to be able to scale after that. But yeah, patience is the key. Patience is definitely the key because sometimes you will never understand, and especially for my experience, I don't understand very well Japanese in business terms. Sometimes some business terms are very difficult to understand. So you might be just in the middle of the meeting and just see what's happening, and there's nothing after the meeting. Nothing was decided after all, but we took so much time of doing a lot of meetings, but after all, there is nothing. So there are something that I've experienced by my own. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, this is one of the typical Japanese unique term and to understand. Yeah, but at least if you know about this term, then sometimes you have an idea what's going on.
Yes, exactly. So it takes time to me to understand, but now I understand what's happening. So now I take my time, and I am more patient, and I think that's a very good lesson from Japan. And at least what I really think is that there is a better understanding of the needs. And when we know very well the needs of Japanese culture or Japanese people or Japanese companies, and then we can tackle better also how to proceed and what kind of strategy we can move from there. So yes, definitely it helps me a lot to understand it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to the next keyword. Okay, so you remember this?
It's something like delegate the mission to someone, like delegate, like pass on the task, like something.
Yes.
But I don't remember again the word.
You
Sorry.
don't remember? Okay, so how about this one? This circle thing. How do you?
Maru.
Yes.
Maru.
And throwing.
Maru.
Yeah.
Maruage or
Yes, you're very close. So
Marunage.
Marunage.
Yes.
Okay. So the term Marunage refers to passing a whole task someone else, doing nothing by
Yes.
yourself. So
Yes.
So when the company or individual requests something without providing enough information or does not understand the final outcome, it's marunage. So you tend to witness marunage, especially for large organizations, as they can't pay attention to every single activity. However, this can happen between individual levels, such as boss and associates. Yes, that's marunage. So have you
Yes.
ever experienced marunage in Japan or anywhere else?
Yeah. Marunage is something that was what I experienced the first time I work in Japan, because I think when I arrive, when I come from Madagascar to Tokyo, from Atananarivo, from the capital city, and then I spent some time to go through the plane, and then I arrived in Tokyo, and then directly I moved to the office, and I expect that there will be like a lot of instructions of what I should do in terms of job description and a lot of things that I should follow, as I did for my past positions. But when I arrived, there was nothing like that, and I thought that it was something that has to be already known, but actually it's something like marunage, so everyone around me knows already what's going on, and there is a lot of how to say that, hidden communication between our Japanese people and Japanese colleagues, which makes things that everything is already done in some processes and it's done perfectly. And I can't just like someone who doesn't know what to do because I don't have enough information. I don't understand what should I do, what kind of outcome should what should I give after my work and everything. So yeah, that was something that I felt like I have to do and to prove something, and this is my responsibility, but I really don't know what to do. So at the beginning I was a little bit lost, but after taking some time in the organization, I could have understood a little bit how is it going on in the organization. I know that how the departments are working by themselves and how they coordinate by themselves as well, and how each department communicate to each other. And then I understand after all what will be my tasks there. And after that, I could have understood also like what can I bring more after I understood, okay, I can do this, okay, maybe I can do more by doing this and this. And that's how I experienced that actually the marunage in my first years of work in Japan.
Right. Yeah, as you said, the job description is not very common in Japan. Yeah, it's I think it's a very surprising when you come from somewhere else, because it has to be documented what's your responsibility and what's your role, right? But yeah, actually the job description is not really common in Japan. So yeah.
Yeah. But it gives a lot of flexibility also.
Right.
And yes, that's like to discover also myself, like, okay, what will I be good at? So I am trying every day and experiencing also the language barrier. Okay, I can't say this word today. I can figure out with this document today, and then I can figure out with the whole thing today. So one project, and then to make myself like growing also in the project. So I think it's also something that is good and somehow to get the flexibility, not just like as a job description and this has to be like this and limit someone, but the fact that you don't have job description can make us grow even more, to have more flexibility. But at that time, it really depends on the boss, on the manager, if they are also willing you to really grow and to discover other things. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's move on to the next keyword. Oh, sorry, the Marunage is a sort of slang, so you might not hear this word in official setting. Okay,
really?
that is true. Yes.
Okay. So maybe I should not say it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of rude if you say to your boss, you do in Marunage, yeah, so you better not to say it.
Okay. Okay,
yes,
understood.
That's true. Yeah, but some people, some company use this term as a part of their service. Marunage okay, something like that. Yeah, because it can be a benefit, right? You don't have to worry about anything. Everything has been taken care of. So it also can be used for the advertisement or campaign. So. But do not tell this to your boss.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So next. Okay. Okay. So do you remember? This is not even Japanese word. Yeah.
Yes, I remember. It's about success stories.
Yes.
Like learning by case. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So this is a前例主義. It's a precedentism.
Yes.
Yeah. So prefer to follow success stories rather than new challenges. So when you have a chance for a business meeting, the first thing you will be asked is, what is a case study in Japan? In particular, they want to hear success stories of rival companies in the same industry. So in general, Japanese people don't like to be the first one, as it might fail. Okay.
Yes.
So I think this, more or less, this is very common, not only in Japan. Yes. People want to know what has been done before, or people want to know the success stories, of course. Yes. But in Japan, it's very, how can I say it?
It's very
we really want.
Yes,
and we don't care what's happened outside of Japan. We are looking for the success stories in Japan.
Yes, in Japan. Yes.
That's the difference. I think, yes. So in Western countries or other countries, even if it's a foreign success story, they're curious about it. But in our case, we don't really much care because it didn't happen in Japan then, and we can't really imagine. So yeah.
Yes.
So that makes us really difficult to make a first case, right? Because nobody wanna go be the first one. Then how can we make the success stories in Japan? So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I can just add a little bit that it's really strengthened in Japan, the fact that you really need to have more information. So the more you have in terms of success stories, the more you are able to really believe that it can work. So as you said, it has to be in Japan. Even if it works somewhere else, some Japanese companies doesn't even care about it, and they just want to know, what about Japan? So it makes the market a little bit difficult to enter. It's one of the how to say that when we make the freight to come into Japan, what kind of freight or we have to overcome. It's one of the thing, because we need to make at least one success story, and how to make one if nobody accepts us. So so please accept us.
Yes, but I've been seeing a lot of companies entering Japanese market, and the first thing they work on is to make one big use case. in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because after
yes.
that, everything is really easy. But first one is
Yes.
very difficult. Yeah.
Yes. And it has to be a success, a great success.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Sorry. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Not even.
Yes.
It can be a. Yeah, you remember this? It's
Yes, I remember this one. It was Loose Face.
Right. That's right.
Yes.
So loose face in Japanese, it's 顔を潰す.
Oh.
You never disagree with a person in a group setting, such as a meeting. Why? Because it means you will make them lose their face. So if you give kudos to someone in an official setting, you will give face. Trying to save everyone's face might mean that negative points might not be discussed in the official meeting, but rather during an informal one-on-one talk. So if you want to point out something, better to do it in a one-to-one setting. However, for this presentation, question and opinions are welcome. Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, how is your workplace? Can you point out something, or can you say opinion to your boss? Is it okay to do that?
Yes, I think in Madagascar, we have almost the same thing as in Japan. We don't say things also very directly. We have also something indirect. Because we respect also, like in Japan, the elder, and for us the boss is like our elder, so we cannot really say something bad in front of him directly if it's an official setting, like an official meeting. But we can say it in one-to-one, like later, can I talk to you, boss, about something? And then we can discuss about it. And same also the boss, we say the same thing. But if he is really, really mad, then he can open and say to someone like, oh, you did wrong here and wrong there. And then it means that he requires a very, how to say that, a very quick action to correct what was wrong done. What was done wrongly. So it's more in terms of reaction to make something happen directly right there. When he said something, he wants it to make it right now, to be done right now. But in Madagascar also, we have the same thing, that we don't really make opinions directly. And especially when it's a collective meeting, like there is everyone there, we cannot really say anything. We just wait until the end. But in some French companies, it's really, how to say that, it's very common that we say things like, okay, I don't agree with this idea. Can we do something like that? And then it's another culture when we are in some French companies. So in French companies, we are able to say our opinions during meetings, during official meetings, but it has to be directed to the idea. We challenge ideas, not persons. So we don't take it personally. But we challenge the ideas, not the person. So I can say, for example, I don't agree with your opinions here, so I recommend that we should do this and this and this way. So if someone also say the same thing to me, I will not take it personally. I will just take that, okay, maybe my ideas need to be more challenged, and I would take it for my own, but I will not take it personally, so I will not feel like I lose face or anything.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
I see.
But yes, but I can feel the way it is in Japan in terms of loose face. The fact that Japanese take the responsibility like very personally, make it feel like the challenges, the responsibility and the person are the same thing. So when we criticize or talk about someone's opinions, or especially when we give negative feedbacks, it might really feel very strong to the person, and the person might not feel good anymore to talk with you or to get open to other suggestions or recommendations. And I think that's something that I really understand, that the honor, the respect has to be something that really, really highly take in account when we are especially in an official meeting. So that's something that I learned also, that because sometimes I am someone who is very direct when I say things. Especially we thought that in official meeting is the way that we can give feedbacks, but actually it's not the case in Japan. Right. It has you just need to say nothing, and if you have to say something, say it later, but you can't say like you agree or disagree or anything. No, it's not the time. So just okay, keep it for you for now, and then later you can discuss with the person discreetly, this thing I don't really understand why it's like that, and do you think we can do it like this? And yeah, that's what I understand from those face. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. So in your working environment, it's you said there is a French companies and also there is a local company. So
yes.
So do you have any problem? I mean, not a problem, but have you ever do you feel any difficulty to combine these? I mean, the French company and local company. There is sometimes there is some different way of approach to move forward the project. So do you experience something like that?
Actually, not really. What I meant by local companies or like when it's led by Malagasy people, so by people from Madagascar, and French companies are also led by French directors, but people inside are Malagasy, so from Madagascar.
Okay.
What I can see is, yes, we are like Japanese, so sometimes when the French director would say to us something that is really direct, like negative feedbacks, people tends to really take it also personally, and they don't want anymore to say anything after to respond to the boss, like when the boss said, oh, you did wrong here and everything like that. So they don't have they don't want to really argue. So sometimes it can cause some how to say that, difficulties to really overcome the argument. But yeah, it takes some time to really understand both cultures. But historically, Madagascar has been colonized also by French, so it made also things a little bit, I would say, very sensitive in terms of politics and in terms of culture here in Madagascar, to make French and Malagasy cultures, especially in management, especially in companies. So yeah, it can tend to be like, okay, the boss says something and then you need just to execute what he says because we don't want to argue. So sometimes we just follow the rules. But it happens that some other Malagasy people also, because they grow up in France, or they grow up also in French education, so they can understand directly the culture management, so they can also adjust very easily into this kind of management. But I would say that most of the Malagasy people who never really grow outside of Japan, outside of Madagascar, I would say, tends to not say anything after the boss would say negative feedbacks during the meeting. He would just like leave it and just like, okay, let's move to another topic or something like that.
I see. So in that sense, you are very much familiar with this concept, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, very familiar. Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to this one. This is also English. You remember this?
Oh, it's not omotenashi yet? No,
there is no omotenashi. So this
the customer is God.
Right.
Okay, okay.
So, お客様は神様です。
お客様は神様です。Yes, yes.
So, customer is God.
Yes.
So, every customer, regardless of size, expects a very first turnaround time from you when asking for information, updates, or making a claim, because they are customers.
Yes.
So in the West, it is often said that the customer is always right, or even that the customer is the king. The corresponding Japanese proverb says that the customer is God. お客様は神様です。So you should be able to feel that quality even in the convenience store or fast food chain. On the other hand, the Japanese are too familiar with superior customer service. If you are asked something from a Japanese potential customer, please answer them to the best of your abilities. Even if you can't take immediate action, at least to make some kind of response. You will never know that they will become a very important customer in the future. Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any proverbs, local sayings like customize right or customize king?
Yes, I think we have almost the same thing like that, but it's said in French. Le client est roi. So it means that the customer is the king, not the god. But I think it's the right term in Japanese. Like customer is god. It's even higher than the king.
Okay.
So you're right when you say that it's superior. It's totally and definitely superior. And this is something that I really miss in Japan. I don't feel it in any other countries that I've visited so far. Japan is unique, really unique in terms of the way to interact with the customer. When, for example, when it says that convenience store and fast food chain, we thought that we would be received like, like in fast food and just some people don't even look at you or anything. But in Japan, it's always the same as if I go to the Carlton 5 stars hotel, it will be almost the same to the convenience store where people will just like bow to me and then give to me the coins in the small tray and then will thank me and then bow to me every time and will ask me what should I see if I need something else after that or anything like that. It's really, really God level. So I understand. It's something totally unique and I didn't feel it anywhere else. I thought I would find it in France because I mean, France also has their kind of respect, but I cannot find it everywhere. What makes it very different in Japan is it's everywhere. For France, maybe it will be in some very 5 stars quality hotel or in kind of, when it's very contextual. Well, in some contexts only, it could be okay. But even in the airplane, oh no, it's nothing compared to Japanese airlines. I was totally lost, like, okay. And now, because I experienced it in Japan, so I also have the kind of expectation when I go to the coffee shop or when I go to any kind of supermarket or anything. So I can really see that it's totally different. And when it happens to really do what is claiming, so for example, if a customer is making a claim, it has to be treated. It doesn't have to be like, okay, we cannot make it. The Japanese companies will try everything they can do to really solve it because it's really the customer is God. So even if sometimes the customer doesn't even have the rights to do it, but because they are the customers, so the companies will try everything to please him. So that's really, really something that is totally unique in Japan, definitely.
Why it's possible for us to provide such a high qualified service? what makes a difference? I mean, if we train people in somewhere else, not in Japan, do you think it's possible to provide the same quality of service, or it's only possible in Japan?
It is possible, but it takes some time, because I think, first of all, you are educated to do so. So in terms of, I think in terms of standardization, so all the quality has to be standardized in every kind of situation. So it doesn't have to be only because the customer is paying, or because it's you see what I mean? So because you have this kind of thinking that everyone has to be in the same level. So you doesn't matter if I am a woman, if I'm young, older, if I'm a foreigner or anything, you will always bow to me because I am the customer. So it's something that is very different in Japan. Like the level of people has to be the same, and it's really unique. And when people ask me, like, do you feel racism in Japan? I was like, no, I was really, really well served in Japan, more even than in my own country. Because you have this kind of taking people like in the same level everywhere. So first, if a country has the same level of treating everyone in the same level, and the second condition is really to have this standardization mindset. Like if I am in Tokyo, I'm in the convenience store in 7-Eleven in Tokyo, it will be the same in 7-Eleven at Osaka. So it will be the same level of standardization of relationship. So customer relationship has to be the same everywhere. And I think also the fact that it has to be also the mindset. You were educated to really respect people, which were not the same in every kind of country. In every country, I mean. So when I see the small kids in the train and they don't make any screams, or they don't even cry or anything, because they know they have to respect other people. So this kind of respect, unfortunately we don't have it everywhere. So, but it works very well in Japan. So I think it's also something that has to be very different. I mean, to be taken in consideration. You have this way to treat people and the customer in high level, like to respect. I'm here and the customer has to be here, and have to please the customer. And that's very unique way that you are treating your customers, and I think it's a really different in Japan. I said a little bit about omotenashi. One of my experience that really marks me until now is when they opened the stores in the morning, and then they bought to all the very first customers, in the mall. So I was like, okay, like you are a star, and thank you for coming here. I was like, wow. Wow, thank you. And I was like, wow, that's really nice. We should do this everywhere. And if we don't buy anything, like we really don't buy anything, we just come and enter, and we make just like we honor just the shop that we are just honor the shop for our presence to be in their shop, and then they just thank us for that. It's really amazing, like amazing. We don't have that everywhere, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. This is one of the things in Japan. Yeah, this is something we can be proud of. Yes.
We can be proud of.
Yes.
But it makes, I would say, a great challenge for foreigner companies to compete with Japanese companies, because when you enter the Japanese market, you know that it's here, so you need to also to please the Japanese customers also at least in the same level. So it makes the competition even higher. So you need to find the right packaging, the right way to treat the Japanese people, the right way also to make it also in the respectful environment for everyone to make it work. So yeah, it's a great challenge. I guess it's a really high challenge, but it's a great challenge.
Yes, that's why I chose this one of the keywords. Yes, you need to be aware of that. Our expectation is very high. So
yes.
Okay. So these are the all 5 words we learned so far. So do you have any questions or anything you didn't say, or?
I think okay. Just that these 5 are very important. I think thank you very much, Tomomi-san, for highlighting these 5 words. Many other people might never come to Japan, so they might never understand what's happening here. So I think the fact that you highlight them here make them aware about what should be done in the Japanese business culture.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for a great recap. Okay.